For years, we have watched our team operate under a specific shadow where one voice seemed to touch every single decision on the field. It created a sense of stability, but maybe it also held us back from reaching that ultimate goal we all crave. Now, a massive shift is happening inside the building, and it changes everything about how our defense will look and play. This new direction is bold, and it's finally giving a brilliant football mind total control. Please subscribe and like to help us hit 500 subscribers. Jim Leonhard is now the undisputed architect of the Buffalo defense, and this represents a monumental change from the Sean McDermott era. For a long time, there were whispers that the head coach was constantly leaning over the shoulders of the offensive staff, but Joe Brady is officially drawing a line in the sand. Brady has made it clear that while he is the head coach, his trust in his new defensive coordinator is absolute. This isn't just talk, because the 2026 NFL Draft proved it. The team selected 6 defensive players specifically tailored to fit a new, aggressive vision. We saw them pick Davison Igbinosun in the first round, a physical cornerback who loves to play tight coverage. Then they added T.J. Parker in the second round to bolster the front. The draft continued with high-upside athletes like Caleb Alarm-Zor, safety Jalon Kilgore, and cornerback Toriano Pride Jr. Each of these players shares a common trait: elite athleticism. This is because the scheme is moving toward a multiple front unit with a 3-4 base defense, which is a significant departure from what we are used to seeing in Orchard Park. Joe Brady is choosing to focus his primary energy on the offense, trusting his staff to handle their business without interference. During the draft, cameras caught a revealing moment where Brady handed the phone to his defensive coordinator to speak with the new picks, signaling a level of ownership we haven't seen in years. This isn't just a change in personnel, it's a total shift in philosophy. The roster holes are being filled with players who possess the speed and physical traits to execute a havoc-creating style of football. By bringing in guys like Alarm-Zor, who had one of the highest athleticism scores at the Combine, the team is signaling that they want to be faster and more reactive than ever before. Brady has even admitted that he is spending time in defensive meetings not to lead them, but to learn how to speak the defensive language. This humility from a head coach is rare and suggests a very healthy working relationship between him and his top lieutenant. It's a fresh start for a franchise that has been knocking on the door for a long time. Transitioning to a new defensive structure is never a simple task for a professional organization, especially when it involves moving to a base 3-4 front. This philosophy requires a different breed of athlete, which explains why the recent draft was so focused on raw physical scores and versatility. The goal here is to create a unit that is unpredictable and constantly attacking, rather than one that simply reacts to what the offense is doing. By giving the defensive coordinator full autonomy, the team is essentially betting that a specialized focus will yield better results than a top-down management style. We are seeing a real commitment to building a havoc defense. This means more disguised blitzes, more aggressive man coverage, and a front seven that can shift between different looks to confuse opposing quarterbacks. It's a high-reward strategy that relies heavily on the instincts and teaching ability of the coaching staff. The locker room is likely feeling a surge of energy because players now know exactly who they are answering to on their side of the ball. There is no confusion about the chain of command, and that clarity often leads to faster play on Sundays. When athletes don't have to overthink their assignments, they can use their natural speed to disrupt the game. This shift also reflects a modern trend in the league where successful teams often have a clear division of labor between their best coaching minds. By allowing the offense and defense to develop their own unique identities under one banner, the hope is that both units will reach their full potential. The focus on high athleticism scores for late-round picks like Jalon Kilgore and Toriano Pride Jr. shows that the team is looking for players who can thrive in space and cover a lot of ground. It's a gamble on traits over pure college production, but it aligns perfectly with the vision of an aggressive, fast-twitch defensive unit. If these young players can translate their physical gifts into on-field performance, the secondary could become one of the most feared groups in the league. The fans have been waiting for this kind of evolution, and seeing the plan actually put into motion during the draft is incredibly encouraging for the future. The biggest reason this change matters so much is that it simplifies everything for the players and the coaches alike. In the past, having a head coach who was deeply involved in every single defensive and offensive meeting could sometimes lead to a too many cooks in the kitchen situation. Now, the roles are perfectly defined. This means the defense can develop a very specific personality that doesn't have to be filtered through someone else's lens. It could help the team win more games because the game planning will likely be more creative and less predictable for opponents. When a coordinator has total freedom, they can take more risks and try innovative things that a more conservative head coach might avoid. This is a massive win for the development of our young stars who need consistent coaching and a clear vision. If the defense can truly create havoc and force more turnovers, it takes an enormous amount of pressure off the offense. We all know that games are won and lost in the margins, and having a dedicated expert running each side of the ball ensures those margins are managed with extreme precision. The move to a 3-4 base is specifically designed to stop the high-powered offenses in our division. It allows for more speed on the field and makes it harder for quarterbacks to figure out where the pressure is coming from. If this works, our team will be much harder to prepare for every week. We are looking at a future where the defense is no longer just a supporting act but a dominant force that can win games on its own. The impact on the locker room cannot be overstated either. Players respect coaches who have the full backing of the organization. By giving this new coordinator the keys to the kingdom, the front office is showing that they believe in this new direction. It creates a culture of accountability and excellence that should permeate through every level of the roster. Ultimately, this is about maximizing the talent we have and ensuring that every player is in the best possible position to succeed. It's about building a championship-caliber team that is modern, fast, and relentlessly aggressive from the first whistle to the last. We have reached a critical crossroads where this new philosophy will either lead us to glory or become a major learning curve. If this aggressive new scheme works, we are going to see a defense that flies to the football and creates constant highlights. Imagine a world where our first-round cornerback is locking down elite receivers while the front seven is living in the opposing backfield. That is the best-case scenario, and it would make us the most dangerous team in the conference. The excitement in the stadium would be electric as fans watch a unit that finally has the teeth to shut down anyone. But we also have to consider the alternative because the stakes are incredibly high. If the transition to a 3-4 base defense is too complex, or if the young players aren't ready for the responsibility, we could see some growing pains. A havoc-based system relies on everyone being in the right place at the right time, and a single mistake can lead to a massive play for the opponent. If the communication breaks down, the very aggression that makes this system great could become its downfall. The pressure is on the coaching staff to get these athletes up to speed before the season starts. Every practice and every meeting is now vital. The tension in the building must be palpable, because everyone knows that the old ways are gone. There is no safety net anymore. If the defense struggles, the questions will start immediately about whether it was wise to give so much control to a new coordinator. But that is the nature of the league, and fortune favors the bold. We have seen other teams take similar risks and reach the mountaintop, and there is no reason we can't do the same. The contrast between these two paths is stark. One leads to a trophy, and the other leads to a difficult rebuilding process. This is the ultimate what-if for our franchise. As fans, we have to buckle up and prepare for a ride that will be full of intensity and high-stakes moments. The era of playing it safe is over, and the era of total ownership has begun. The Buffalo Bills are entering a completely new chapter with a coaching structure that finally separates the two halves of the team. Joe Brady is trusting his defensive leadership in a way we haven't seen in this city for a very long time. By drafting specifically for a 3-4 havoc scheme, the team has committed 100% to a vision of speed and aggression. It is a bold move that removes the micromanagement of the past and puts the pressure squarely on the experts in the room. Be honest with me. Do you think giving a first-year defensive coordinator this much power is the right move for a championship run? Or should the head coach be more involved in the day-to-day defensive decisions? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments below. This team belongs to all of us, and your voice matters in this conversation. Please make sure to leave a like on this video and hit that subscribe button right now. We are working hard to reach our goal of 500 subscribers, and every single one of you makes a difference. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an update on our Bills. Go Bills!